It's the final day of March of 2025, and tomorrow, no April Fool's jokes. We try to be as straight-laced as we can and not throw people off with certain things. But welcome to the radio program on Litter Media Radio and our daily program here on YouTube with Litter Media Live with the icon Mike Smith. I'm Dan Ramey, and Aaron Glandon, Mr. Hand 2, is playing on his phone. There he is. He's back. Oh, he's sharing. He's sharing.
It's nice to share.
It is nice to. We try and teach kids that in kindergarten, and here he is. You've been out of school how many years now?
A couple.
He's still counting on his hands. Yeah, it's still at his age. He has to learn to share. Welcome to the program. We had some raucous weather that made its way not only through Ohio, but through Michigan, Indiana, all the way down into the Gulf of America throughout the evening last night.
Mm-hmm. In fact, tornado warnings took me and my wife down to the basement at our home because the polygon map that the National Weather Service had out showed it going right through Frankfurt.
And you said, honey, come join me in the basement.
Actually, she said, are we going to the basement now? I said, well, we might as well. But she kept running upstairs to get a drink and her shoes. It's like, honey, it doesn't do you any good.
I forgot this.
To be down there if you're going to be up there. So, yeah, it's going to simmer down a little bit. If you were watching our social media last night, we tried to keep you up to date on the latest warnings that were going out. In fact, I-71 in Fayette County, just above Jeffersonville, was closed for a couple of hours because of power lines that went down over all four lanes. So that kept things, and that was the area that one of those tornado warnings was out for. But we're looking for cloudy skies today. There was a little light drizzle falling when I came into work this morning. Temperature is actually dropping till noon, and then it's going to go back up to about 56 for this afternoon. Some sunshine. Yeah, we might see some for tomorrow, and then rain back in the picture on Wednesday, and a chance of rain each day through the weekend. They're saying there's also a possibility of some more severe weather on Wednesday.
April showers bring May flowers.
Yes, sir.
Coming up in a moment, a new feature that we have for you, and it is looking at the historical markers. You've seen those out and about all throughout our lives. There are more than 1,700 here in the state of Ohio, and some of those are right in our backyard. So that's going to come your way in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at our friends at Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. They have been in business for almost 50 years. Taking care of the heating and the cooling. And then several years ago, they added plumbing into this too. So if you have an issue with those in your home or your business, make sure that you click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com, and it will take you to the contact information for Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, accuratehvac.com.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier. Transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our Kingston National Bank mobility app today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week and one pet of the year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Tell Us About Your Pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the pet purchase necessary. Contest Ohio residents and at least 18 years old. Haines Total Healthcare Center has been for more than 50 years now taking care of the physical therapy, the chiropractic needs, and nutritional needs for many folks across Ohio. 50,000 patients they see a year. If you're one of those, you know about Haines. If you are not, check them out. Click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com, and it takes you to their website, haineshealth.com. On our website, littermedia.com, you'll find some of the stories we have to share for you today. Not only that, but you'll also find our social media contact. All that stuff is up in the right-hand corner of littermedia.com. And we have a YouTube channel, which you're watching us now, but later today, we will have our first historical marker feature running live. But first, we want to give you a little bit of a teaser and an appetizer, as it were.
Many places around the state of Ohio, you probably drive by an Ohio historical marker much like this one. And probably odds are that 90 to 95% of the people that drive by them have never taken the time to stop and see what they say. Well, that's part of a series that we want to do here on Litter Media to discuss what these markers are talking about in particular places in various communities. I'm Mike Smith with Litter Media, and joining us today we have local historian Kevin Coleman of Intrepid Heritage Services. And this opening segment, we're going to be talking about the original state house for the state of Ohio, which was located in Chillicothe, Ohio. Picked a nice sunny day to be out and about, and that's the first of the 5 that you'll see coming out talking about this. And it's hopefully just to whet your appetite to get in front of one of these signs and read them. I was talking to Kevin Coleman about this, and he said probably 99% of the people that drive by them never take the time to stop and see, and it's literally history in our backyard.
Absolutely. Great way to learn more about your city as well. And not just the city, but there's a handful of these around Ross County as well, and
other counties
in Pike County too. So, Chillicothe Art League Spring Open Exhibition will be the next show at the Pump House Center for the Arts. The featured artwork is from local artists within a 75-mile radius of Chillicothe. The exhibit opens tomorrow, April 1st, runs through the 26th with the opening reception Thursday. That's this Thursday, April 3rd, from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. And that's where you get a chance to meet some of the artists that will be there. In the same respect, you see their artwork. Why not meet the people who are actually putting that art together as well?
And typically that artwork is for sale.
Yes.
So take a look at that if you're interested in supporting a local artist. 175 students gathered at Southern State Community College in Hillsborough earlier in the month of March for the 2025 5-County Transition Expo hosted by Opportunities for Ohioans with Disabilities, Ohio Department of Education, and Highland County, Ohio Means Jobs. Students from 16 school districts and 1 vocational school in Adams, Brown, Clinton, Fayette, and Highland counties attended as more than 20 employers, local education programs, and other community partners equipped students with vital information aimed at helping them transition smoothly into employment or pursue further education after high school.
Southeastern Middle School has a musical coming up. It is Willy Wonka Jr. It opens this Friday. Shows are at 7 p.m. Friday and Saturday and 3 p.m. on Sunday. Tickets are available at southeastern.booktix.com.
Ross County Fair camping contracts are in the mail. If you don't receive yours in the next week, send an email to Jenny Nelson at camping@rosscountyfair.com. The Fair Board will begin contacting people on the move list about the middle of May and those on the wait list the beginning of June.
But there is a county fair that's going to be before that, and it's the Pickaway County Fair. And their camping is also open to non-payment, it says here. Wait a second. I misread that.
Due to non-payment.
That is opened up due to non-payment. So if you've got a campsite and you haven't paid for it, it's been up for grabs now. If you're interested in camping in the 2025 Pickaway County Fair, you can submit an application by contacting the Fairgrounds office.
Ohio Department of Natural Resources Division of Parks and Watercraft is helping boaters get ready for a safe and enjoyable season on the water with free vessel safety checks. These voluntary inspections conducted by ODNR ensure that boats are properly equipped with all legally required safety gear before setting out for the season. Safety checks locally will include Lake White on May 24th from noon to 4 and Rocky Fork Lake over in Highland County, June the 21st.
I want to see a happy sixth grader from Piketon right now. There she is. This is Lincoln Beekman. She's been named as one of the top 5 finalists in the state for her sticker design in the Ohio STEM Learning Network Design Challenge. This is a post on Facebook from the Ross Pike Educational Service Center. A talented member of Piketon's gifted program, Lincoln's creative design was submitted by Mrs. Entler. Congratulations to Lincoln. And I you can tell she's a creative kid. I mean, the style she has in pointing.
John Travolta.
Very cool.
Yeah. Our road reports up in Pickaway County today. State Route 762 between US 23 and Asheville Pike will have various lane restrictions beginning this Wednesday and running through the fall for pavement repairs. Two-way traffic will be maintained via flaggers.
Probably frustrated driving through South Bloomfield where they're expanding the lanes on 23 and there are barrels everywhere. Speaking of which, that gives us a little teaser that coming up this Friday, Michaela Bruning from Ohio Department of Transportation District 9 will be stopping by, and she'll give us an update on construction here in District number 9.
Yep.
So looking forward to that. Coming up in a moment to look at sports, but first let's tell you about Scioto Valley Dumpsters. 740-253-8389 is the number to call if you have need for a dumpster. They can get you taken care of, whether it be one for your residence or if you need one for the farm or maybe a work site you're on or your business. They can take care of it. 740-253-8389. Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Intermedia Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Intermedia Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
I'm a busy woman, and I'm not ready to slow down.
Tiffany's hip pain was interfering with her career and active lifestyle until she came to the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute.
Dr. Meshbach told me about same-day surgery. I said, I want it now, and I wanted it yesterday.
After a successful procedure, Tiffany was home the very same day and on her way back to enjoying the community she calls home. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
Now that's one fast mower. Take command of your lawn with Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today. Time for sports now, and we begin with our high school roundup.
There was a ton, as you can see on the screen, of high school baseball alone, let alone softball. Obviously, we're not going to read through all of those, but some of the highlights, Athens knocked off Unioto in baseball 3-2. Zane Trace walloped Wauseon 17-1. And on down the line, you see, and if you look at this and you see, well, wait a minute, you've got Waverly playing. Yeah, that's called a split team doubleheader. You have your traditional doubleheaders where you're playing the same team, and then on some occasions you have multiple teams playing. So you might play two different opponents, and that happened with Waverly winning and losing. Now, flipping over to softball, A lot of games there. Some of the traditional doubleheader winners included Adena and Huntington, both taking 2 games in the win column.
They ran the Chillicothe Fairweather Relays this past Saturday. A lot of people there at the O, and milesplit.com is the one that reports how things went out. They have not put team standings up, but we can tell you that several local teams won events because we can see the events, but we'd like to tell you how many points they scored and everything, but we're not sure of what the point totals were being given to the awards. And so once we receive that information, we'll share that for you.
I'll let you give the bad news about the Reds.
Reds and the Giants. Reds let it slip away from them on opening day, and then they came back, had a nice win on Saturday night, but then let it slip away again yesterday. They had a chance to tie this contest in the latter moments, but they could not get it done. 6-3 the final yesterday. Reds will host the Rangers tonight at Great American Ballpark.
The news was better for the Cleveland Guardians. They won their series with the Royals, taking the wrap-up game Sunday by a score of 6-2.
Did you see Jonathan India take the pitch to the head?
Never saw any.
Oh, man, he was not happy at all. And it looked like it smarted. Because, I mean, he bounced up and went right to the – because I think they were taking him for x-rays. And had a few choice words, certainly. NCAA basketball update for you. All the number ones are alive, right? Mm-hmm. Florida, Duke, Houston, and Auburn advanced to the men's Final Four. And on the women's side, the defending national champion South Carolina Gamecocks return to the Final Four for a 5th straight season.
Cleveland Cavaliers get a win over the Clippers, 127-122. CBJ lost to Ottawa on Saturday. And we want to say happy birthday to a friend of the old Dan and Mike radio show, an NBA Hall of Famer by the name of Jerry Lucas. Jerry, of course, was an All-American at Ohio State, played in 3 consecutive national championship games, winning 1 title in 1960 over California, went on and won an Olympic gold medal, and then played with the Cincinnati Royals, and then later the New York Knicks, where he won a world championship. And if you're watching this on the tele, you can see that he's one of only 8 people ever to win the basketball Triple Crown, which was an NCAA championship, an NBA championship, and an Olympic gold medal. Jerry Lucas of Middletown turns 85 years young today. Happy birthday, Jerry.
Did Bill Hoskett also get to enjoy such lore?
Nope.
I couldn't recall if he was on the Olympic team or not.
Jerry was actually the first to accomplish this.
Okay.
But he's one of 8 now, as many have added.
As time goes on.
And Jerry is currently living in Gallipolis, Ohio, for those of you that don't know that.
You jumped into that real in a hurry. The Blue Jackets will host Nashville tomorrow night. So just wanted to throw that out there as well. Because they're still in the thick of this.
Well,
they were out, then they were in.
They've done
They're
about everything they can to
now,
shoot themselves in the foot.
They certainly
after
have.
their 6-game losing streak.
But they have been exciting to watch here. This takes us back a few years ago when they were in the playoffs the last time. Still the same feel in watching these guys, and I hope they.
So you're watching all of their games?
Not all of them.
This is how big of a fan he is.
Well, what I've been doing is when Missy decides I'm going to bed, which is usually around 9 o'clock, I flip it over because I don't want to watch any of the regular programming it's on. So I'll flip it over and see if the Cavaliers are playing or if the Blue Jackets are playing, and I'll check in on them on the last moments of their game.
Why don't you just say, honey, can I please watch what I want to watch for a change?
That doesn't work, so,
All right.
We have a second TV, which I could go in and watch.
That's true.
But then it's like, don't you want to be in here with me? So it's a no-win situation, and I like sleeping on my own bed. All right, coming up in just a moment, we'll take a look at this date in history. But first,
we want to tell you that 92 years of serving propane users in southern and central Ohio, we're talking about Litter Quality Propane. Reliable supply, reliable service, reliable people. Litter Quality Propane.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
Going on right now, the wind that came through didn't spoil anything. You can stop by Hometown Motors Incorporated, 818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe. You see the logo right there on our screen. Hometown Motors Incorporated spring sales event continues while supplies last. New riding tractors starting at $1699.99. $3399.99 for the new zero-turn mowers. You'll find new walk-behinds starting at $399.99. New chainsaws starting at $279.99. New blowers starting at $199.99, and new trimmers starting at $229.99. Hurry in to get the best selection because these prices, they're not going to last long. Hometown Motors is your store for the outdoors. This date in history, we go back to around bicentennial time.
Yes, sir.
Well, no, it would be 200 years ago, almost 250 years ago.
1776
Thank
is
you
what he's trying to get to.
Yes.
Like talking to my wife. Get to the point. Abigail Adams.
Oh, speaking of.
Yeah, writes to her husband, John Adams, urging him and the other members of the Continental Congress not to forget about the nation's women when fighting for America's independence from Great Britain. The first lady, or the future first lady, wrote in part, quote, "I long to hear that you have declared an independency. And, by the way, in the new code of laws, which I suppose it will be necessary for you to make, I desire you would remember the ladies and be more generous and favorable to them than your ancestors. Do not put such unlimited power into the hands of the husbands. Remember, all men would be tyrants if they could. If particular care and attention is not paid to the ladies, we are determined to foment a rebellion and will not hold ourselves bound by any laws in which we have no voice or representation," unquote.
Which means we have the power to make life really difficult for you.
It's that, I'm looking, I'm waiting.
I remember when we had Dr. Laura on radio back in the day, how often she told women, listen, you hold more power than you realize, you know, and some women did not take to that. Others were like, really? And next thing you know, it changed their life. So,
is her show back on the radio?
That I don't know. I know she went to Sirius XM, I believe.
Because she was on Glenn Beck's show, or what? No, it was Buck and Clay's show Friday afternoon. And I thought, why are they interviewing her? I didn't even think she was doing radio anymore.
Yeah, well, I don't think she has stopped her show. Her show left the airwaves and went over to satellite it's probably been, 12 years ago?
I just thought, well, I don't get
longer than that.
I don't get satellite radio, so I'm too poor. So I didn't know she was out there and about.
I only have it for the Billy Graham channel.
Bless you.
I've been keeping my subscription continuing, which came with my new car a couple of years ago, and I thought, let's just keep it going because let's be honest, it's like a master class every time I get into my car and drive away. Of course, the wife has my card today.
I noticed that.
I had to.
She wanted to hear Billy Graham today.
Well, I got to spend time with Amelia. Dan Jr. was unable to take her to school today, so Pop got to do it, and we got to spend some time together.
Good deal.
She was celebrated her 6th birthday last Friday, and now she's a completely different girl. It's amazing.
Yep. 6 going on 16.
And ironically, on my Facebook memories feed, popping up was a picture of Paradise at the age of 9, I think it was, and she was having a sleepover at our house. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they look so much alike. Incredible.
Yeah.
So.
You had Dave Huggins on earlier this morning?
Yes, and that will be available on our YouTube channel. Is it live already? No, not yet.
In 10 minutes.
Okay, so in about 10, 15 minutes, you'll be able to see what we talked about, or you can go right back here on Facebook page. You can see it in the video section there and find out what he had to say. You can't?
No.
Oh, that's right, because we're on YouTube, right?
Right.
You can watch the live version.
Can somebody send me a program to let me know what's happening around here? So,
if you only had a producer, he cried for 30 years, and now he's got one. And then, hey, producer, what's going on?
Well, we forgot that, back in February, Facebook, there were some changes, and so now we're on YouTube on a regular basis. But
it kicked me off a year ago this month, March.
Yeah, so it's not been very friendly to us. I don't know what the deal is. So,
guys,
it's part of life. All right, that's a look at today's program. You can hear what Dave Huggins has to say here on YouTube a little bit later on, or you can go back and look at the YouTube live that was on. Is that right? Okay. I got something right, and Spotify as well. So thank you for watching. Back at it again tomorrow here on Litter Media.